Hi everyone, it's Lauren. This is my mum Jackie.
And this is my mum Maureen.
And this is
my granddaughter Lauren.
This is
Go Ask Your Mother! The thing I wanted to talk about was body positivity.
Right.
Now, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I think the concept of body positivity is quite new, especially like in the internet. I don't suppose you've heard that phrase before, Nan?
No.
No. But I guess the idea of it is being positive about your body and your face and everything, you know, about you, and not comparing yourself to other people. I think it started more to be about weight, more specifically, but it's about all kinds of body positivity, I guess, because I do feel like, especially with women, there's so much pressure to look a certain way. And I think, like, most people have issues about some part of themselves. Do you think that's fair?
I would think so, yes. I would think that everybody think, oh, you know, I mean, in conversations you hear people say, oh, well, what is it you don't, you know, you see somebody and you think, oh, they seem to have it all. Wonderful figure and good looks. And you think, you know, they can't be dissatisfied with anything in their body.
Yeah.
But I bet anybody would say, oh yes, but this is that and this is that. And yeah, I mean, the thing is that really, I would think that whatever you've got, you just have to make the best of what you've got and get on with it. But like you say, there's so much pressure on young people, young girls in particular.
It's always, you know,
Yes.
in women's magazines, lose 5 pounds in a week, lose all those extra pounds before Christmas. It has been as long as I can remember, and I don't know if it's a fairly recent thing, like in the 60s with Twiggy and everything, that suddenly women had to be slim. I mean, years and years and years ago, apparently curvy women were more fashionable.
Yes.
Like going back hundreds of years.
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Not hundreds of years.
Going back
I was thinking of like all the old paintings and that, you know.
I see.
Oh, yeah.
The Renaissance, is it? And whatever, I don't know.
I know what you mean.
I don't know if it's more of a recent thing or if it's got worse recently. When I mean recently, I mean like during my lifetime, I suppose. But it is always pressure on women, on the telly, on daytime TV, on adverts, in magazines. It's always pressure. How to do this, how to do that, how to cook your man a nice meal probably years ago. When you think about it, nearly every article and every advert in there is how to improve yourself.
Yeah.
Which is just going to make people feel they're not good enough to start with. There's not so much about how to improve yourself as a person, is there?
No, but how
So
to
what
impress your man.
What clothes you should wear, what's the latest fashion, how you can look like this. And now what I think is really awful is people doing all these, the Botox and the liposuction and all the facelifts and all that. I think that's awful. Absolutely awful that people feel that they've got to cut their bodies up and change themselves to
and
be
give
good
themselves
enough.
more problems.
Good
really,
enough for
a
what?
lot
Well,
of
in the end,
time.
yeah.
Because what becomes normal though, isn't it?
Yes.
Because if it's normal that everyone has their lips done, then if you don't have your lips done, it's like, oh, well, I'm not. The baseline
You've got to
is
be
shifted.
in the club. Going back to how it used to be for when a couple got married, when the woman was at home doing all of the housework, etc. Also, yes, the women were told, you get all the work done and all the, because a lot of it was dirty housework, as I say, no vacuum cleaners, etc. But by the time he's coming home from work, you get yourself all cleaned up and smartened up and makeup and all that, even if you've got about half a dozen children to look after as well.
You have to look nice.
You
when
have
he
to
comes
look
home.
nice for him when he comes in, have his slippers by the fire.
Yeah, because he's
And
been
have
working all day and he doesn't want to come home
No,
to a flummoxed,
no.
untidy looking woman, does he?
No,
Why would he want
otherwise
to?
he would turn to another
Come
woman.
on.
He would
Yeah,
go
yeah,
and
yeah,
find
no, it's
another.
your own fault.
It is.
Why did he go? Why did he do that then?
That's how it used to be.
Got to keep
So-
him, catch him and keep
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
So-
Trick him into loving you.
So we were talking about your question of what was it called? Body
Positivity.
positive.
Sort of body image, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually think magazines for like, you know, older women. oldies. I mean, like Woman and Woman's Own and like Best and all
Yeah,
these magazines. I think they're
Every
so
good
actually. I
one
think they're so much worse than the teenage magazine.
Really?
Because I remember reading like Woman once, and it's got all these pictures. Like, oh look, they're
Oh,
fat.
yeah,
They've
yeah,
put
yeah.
on weight. How
Yeah.
disgusting! And then it'd be like, eat this diet so you can be really skinny. And then on the back it'd be like this lovely recipe for chocolate cake.
Yeah,
And it's just
exactly.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
what am I supposed to do? Like
Yeah.
it's so many different like
Yeah.
conflicting messages.
Yeah, the thing is, it's all about money, isn't it? So if they're doing that, then products are being sold, aren't
Yeah.
they? They're encouraging you to buy makeup and hair stuff and all the rest of it,
And go and have
clothes.
different facelifts and
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah. But do you think people go along the route of taking all that sort of thing up? Why do you think some people do and some people don't? Do you think it's
What you mean, like
from
plastic
your-
surgery? You mean? When you say that sort of
well,
thing?
just even things like Botox and lip fillers and all of that. Do you think it's the way you're brought up? Do you think it's the people that you associate with all do it, so you do it? What do
Yeah.
you think makes people do it?
I think it's definitely
Why
to do
would,
with
I
society.
can't personally understand why anybody would do it. Do that to yourself. Have you not got enough self-confidence, or I don't know?
I think it's definitely to do with society. It's what's
But you wouldn't do it, would
accepted.
you? I would hope.
No, but it's
I
just-
wouldn't do it. So why do some people do it?
It's within your circle. It's what's normal within your circle. I think. I don't know. That's what I think.
Who you make friends with.
Well, it is. It's the kind of look you want to achieve, and I think if all of your friends are like that kind of look, and everyone's doing that kind of thing, it sort of becomes more and more normal, and you need to look that way. I think it's just a heightened form of makeup, isn't it? Really, like Botox and lip
Well,
fillers
that's
and
where
things.
I
It's-
don't agree with you, because you're actually doing like a mini operation on yourself, aren't you? You're injecting your lips with
No, I agree, Mum,
chemicals.
but it's
So I that's why I say I would draw the line there, because that is a totally different thing to wearing a lot of makeup.
But why
or
are you
even-
wearing a lot of makeup anyway?
or
at
even
all?
false eyelashes to me?
Yeah, but Dad doesn't wear makeup.
No.
Why do you wear makeup then?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to say. Why do people go that extra step and have?
But you're doing what's normal for you, which is a level of makeup. So if what's normal for a certain group of friends is for everyone to have their lips done, then it's not that big a thing anymore, is it? That's what I'm saying. You're saying, why does someone do that? Like, it's just one singular person on their own, and it's not. It's about the kind of aesthetic you feel like you need to fit into.
Is it? You see it a lot on the telly, so you think it's more prevalent than it is.
I think it's so much easier, and there's been a step towards things like permanent makeup as well.
Yeah.
So you've had things like your eyelashes is it permed?
No, dyed.
Dyed. No,
But I always
okay.
used to do that when I was younger, because my eyelashes are so big. My eyes look funny because
Yeah,
it
but-
looks like I haven't got any eyelashes.
No, but that doesn't look funny though. That's what you're saying. Oh, my eyes look awful because looks like I don't have eyelashes. That's what you look like.
Yeah, but it's
So you
like
sh-
dyeing your hair then, isn't it? as well?
Okay, yeah. So,
With your
but
eyelashes, dyeing your
now
eyelashes,
you can do
it's the
getting your eyelashes tinted or permanently dyed. You can get your eyebrows tattooed on as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So there's a stage between makeup and like operations where the lines are quite blurred, even though it's a permanent thing you're doing, like getting your eyelashes done or your eyebrows done, or like your lips, it does go down. So I think people just don't really see that as surgery. I think there's such a blurred line now. You can get fillers just in your face, which then go down again. People are choosing to do that now, and
There
that
are more
seems less
options.
invasive than
There are
like
more
full on having a
options.
boob job, doesn't it?
These days, aren't there?
I wonder if if you need to when you talk going back to bringing up a daughter, because
Yeah.
it doesn't affect men so much, I suppose, although it is beginning to more now than it ever has before, how they look, how you make them strong enough, even if they get into a friendship group that's cutting their face about and injecting it with chemicals, to resist doing that. I suppose it's a bit like with drugs. How do you
Yeah.
bring up your
Yeah,
children
yeah.
if that's all around them, to be able to resist it?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not go down that route.
You've never had any kind of surgery done?
Not for that reason.
No, not for not for that reason. But do you think when you were younger you would have done? Did you feel very self-conscious when you were
No, I
younger?
wouldn't have done. I'm sure I wouldn't. No, definitely not.
No, we
So how do you feel
Very hard.
okay about yourself then? Either of you, or don't you?
no.
Well, I don't know. It's the same as everybody. There's bits that you would change and bits that you wouldn't. And
Yeah.
like Nan said, you just make the best of yourself. But I'm not that desperate to look like that I'm going to have things injected in me and have my face cut about.
But do you think these days, because there's things like social media and Instagram, and younger people are seeing so much of like the perfect person,
And more
do you
options,
think it's
like I
more
say.
than when you were younger?
Yeah.
Because obviously everybody feels self-conscious about themselves to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And no one has to absolutely love every part of themselves all the time. But do you think it's more prevalent these days that people are going to fall victim to like, oh, I don't feel very good about myself, and then all these other people are so perfect? Do you think people in the media when you were younger were like less perfect?
It's presented to you more
yeah.
nowadays. Definitely.
I mean, people in magazines in our day were just famous people, whereas now, you're right, with social media, you get
Yes, they'd write into the
ordinary
magazines.
people who aren't famous going on there posting. Every picture's got to be a perfect picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is. I don't think
And
social
like
media
I
has
say,
helped at all.
with
but also,
photos, when you were showing me your photos, airbrushing goes on, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, that did
So-
in magazines as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a question then. When you two were young, when you two were kind of like teenagers, you were both very slim. Probably thinner than I've ever been.
No, not
But did you feel like when you were growing up there was pressure to be skinny or to lose weight?
No, I
You
didn't.
didn't at all?
I
Or
didn't.
do you think maybe there was? But I've got no idea what it was like for you. But I mean, like,
No.
I feel like there's such a high prevalence of things like eating disorders now. I'm sure there always has been to a certain extent. But do you think was there that pressure to like diet and be a certain way?
I
that
think
you
generally people didn't weigh so much.
Yeah.
And I think that's because there's so much food available now and it's cheaper, and everywhere you go there's snacks.
Yeah.
There's adverts on the telly for food all the time. So on the one hand they're saying eat this, eat chocolate, eat sweets, eat crisps, and then on the other hand then they say, oh, now, like you said in that magazine, you lose all this weight and now make this chocolate cake.
Yeah.
On the other hand, oh, now you're too fat. So now you've got to go on a diet and buy all this diet stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is down to marketing and companies selling the stuff.
So you
Again,
think
it's all
people
down
just
to money.
weren't people
Big
just were
business and
smaller
money.
then as well?
Yeah.
Like there wasn't.
We were
that
more
much.
active, much more active. You're trying to get a word in, Mum?
No.
You're much more active. You walked everywhere. Not everybody had even cars. Not even one car per family. You didn't even have a remote control for your television. I can remember when remote controls came out thinking, how lazy is that you can't even get up off your seat and turn the telly over? Honestly.
The thing is, though, also it's less. This is less about are people fat, and more about is there a pressure to not be fat? Because
maybe
there's only a
if
pressure
your
to not
health,
be fat if people are fat, isn't there? If people
yeah. So now
generally
are you?
aren't.
So
then-
now, yeah. But what I mean is, are you saying all these people should actually be thin, or do you think they should accept themselves being fat? That's different. So you're going, well, there wasn't that pressure in my day because we were all thin.
No,
it's
I'm
like
not saying it like as a thing like that. I'm just saying that was the case.
Yeah.
That was the fact. And
So-
that's how this has happened.
Well, I'll tell
and
you
how
what-
people get eating disorders because food's being thrown at you all the time. And then on the other hand, they're saying, oh, now you've got a diet. And people don't know, you know.
what should I do?
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, there's snacks. We had our meals, 3 meals a day. You didn't get snacks in between. And you had your
Yeah,
dinner
so-
put on the table. And if you didn't like it, that was it. There wasn't an alternative.
Yeah, but
because
if,
you
You
couldn't
didn't go and have
afford
something
to.
else instead.
yeah, but if someone
I
is
hated braised steak. And every Monday we used to get braised steak and I had to eat it or just go hungry.
Oh,
Poor
you
you.
don't. Oh,
Yeah.
she
They
don't talk
starved
about all the other meals,
Yeah.
lovely things I used to cook.
just the
for
braised
her.
steak, it's
Oh.
ruined her. She's
Mince.
traumatised.
What a
We used to
terrible
have mince,
mother.
but it wasn't just
Oh.
us, it was everybody because Jackie was the same. You used to have mince, you didn't have spaghetti bolognese or anything.
Oh,
you had a
no,
plate
well,
of
that
mince.
wasn't heard of.
It was just cooked mince.
Oh,
With some mashed
shepherd's pie,
potato.
shepherd's
Shepherd's pie was very exotic. Yeah. But
No,
I used to like
no,
salad
I'm-
actually. I
what-
remember we went somewhere to a cafe once and I wanted salad and you said, no, kind of, that's too expensive. Jim, no, that's too expensive for salad. Can't have that.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, you're awful. Taking her
Oh, I
away
was
from her
that in,
salad.
don't
I
put
was
it
a
in.
terrible mother.
No.
No, what I was going to say was, what women must have done was, my mum and my nan both used to wear corsets. So, never mind about being fat, just wear it.
release it in.
Pull it all
What
in.
about the fingers?
When you're at home, just let it all. Yeah, before the husband comes in from work.
Put it back on again because he doesn't want to see
Girdle
that
up.
when he gets home, does he? Doesn't want to come home to that. When it's been sitting in the office all day with all these secretaries.
Yeah, go
I
on.
want to come home to you without your girdle.
What I've been trying to say, she can't get a word in edgeways. But
Spit it out, Lauren.
what you're saying is, we were all thin back then because we didn't, and everyone eats too much these days. But the point of body positivity is that it doesn't matter
No, that's right.
if you're fat.
As I've said before, yeah,
So
that's
you
good.
think that? Yeah, that is.
It
good
is a
then.
good. Yeah.
All right. Fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're agreed.
We've
It's okay no
established-
matter what size you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless it's affecting your health.
Yeah, but if it's
Yeah.
not affecting your health,
yeah,
of course that's a different thing.
Yeah.
If it's not affecting your health,
And if you
That's
don't
not
like the
fine.
way you look, just put a girdle on. Just
no need
wear
for
the
these lip
girdle.
fillers, girls. A girdle.
Actually, what programme did I see they were discussing wearing?
What, Spanx?
Is that what they're called?
Like the
Yes,
the
yes.
knickers.
And smooth you all out. They were talking about that on the television.
It's got to go
the other
somewhere
day.
though,
Smooths
hasn't
you all
it?
out.
It's not going to just
Exactly.
disappear.
There's
Yeah.
got to be a bulge somewhere, hasn't there?
Over the
There's
top.
got to be. There's got to be.